Hi, everyone. I'm Sherianna Boyle, and I want to welcome you to Just Ask Spirit. This is a podcast about spirituality and mental health, the connection between the two. If you're new to the show and you're new to me and my work, I'm the author of 10 books. The latest book is called Energy in Action, the Power of Emotions and Intuition to Cultivate a Life of Peace and Freedom. It's a book about manifesting, but it's a whole new take on manifesting, and it begins inside of you, not outside of you. And I talk a lot about that in my cleanse membership, which is at sheriannaboyle.com, which I take people through the process, emotional 10-minute process of emotional processing every week on my platform live on Zoom. We also do all sorts of awesome meditation and mindful tools and techniques there. This show and every other show that we have here is being sponsored by what's called the Just Ask Spirit Marketplace. Now, that's a place that you can go on my website, sheriannaboyle.com, and you can check it out because we've got some books there from some of our previous guests, wonderful books that you can see. You can also see some services. You can see some spiritual art, my book, Energy in Action's there, as well as some other offerings I have. Just want to say thank you to those authors and individuals who support the Just Ask Spirit Marketplace. It's because of you that we can keep this show going. If you would like to support this show, if you're a longtime listener, you can also reach out through our Patron program. Patron program is a place that you can get additional content. Go to sheriannaboyle.com, just click on podcast and you'll see what that Patron program is all about. And you can give as little or as much as you like to support the show. So today is a big day. I love when today happens because I get to talk with my friend Carmen Turner-Schott. She's also become a friend of the listeners on this show. She's the author of many books, but she gives us our astrology update every single month. And today we're talking about September 2003. So I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm excited to talk about what's going on energetically. And we'll be right back after the break. Carmen Turner-Schott, welcome to Just Ask Spirit.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going great. We're so excited. We love this time of the month when we get to connect with you. Those of you who are new to the show, Carmen Turner-Schott is the author of many, many books. She's our resident astrologer. I think, you're just like one of the best out there in terms of your knowledge, not just the knowledge, but being able to deliver it in a way where we can understand it, because it is sometimes not anything we learned about. And your latest books are Phoenixes and Angels and Moon Signs
and Healing.
And then also Sun Signs, Houses and Healings. And you can find her books in a couple places. One is Just Ask Spirit Marketplace, which hope you check that out anyway, and that's at sheriannaboyle.com. You can also go to her website, carmenturnerschott.com, and you can also find her on YouTube if you want to watch her live do her thing. Yes. So here we are. It's September 2023.
August was crazy. Let me just say, it was just nutsy because, we had the two full moons. So we had the full moon, the first month in Aquarius, and we had the Pisces full moon at the end of the month that made us very emotional, sensitive, and just kind of bringing up all kinds of stuff and wanting to maybe cry a little bit more easily and just really getting in touch with our feelings, and so it was a very powerful blue moon is what they call it, because it's like once in a blue moon kind of thing. You get 2 moons in 1 month. So because we have that full moon the end of August, here in September, the full moon actually happens a little bit later. It's interesting because we had double moons. So it's really cool. And so one of the things that happened last month, I'm sure, everybody remembers we were talking about, is Mercury Retrograde.
Oh, so yeah.
Mercury Retrograde played some havoc on my life, and
mine too. Mine too. Yeah. I mean, I remember just the lights going out, just out of nowhere. It was like perfect out. And I'm like, the lights just went off. Every single piece of
Yes.
electricity in my house went out. And I
Yes.
know you had issues. You had
Oh,
issues.
yes. Had to move my daughter into college and heading out there, and her her oil light comes on, check oil. And we had just taken it to the shop, which mechanical things, computers, technology, all this stuff, miscommunication, faulty, it just, things go wrong with mechanics and things, computers. And so we got looked at, and then it was making a bad noise. It was a faulty strut, apparently a faulty part that was put in 2 months ago. So we had to come back, and my daughter had to stay without her car. And so now we're getting it fixed. It's still, so it's been interesting. And then miscommunication, changing times, meetings, and not getting the email or not understanding what happened, and just not really good communication. It affects our communication, and miscommunication happens often. And you're like, wait a minute, I wasn't tracking that. What happened here? You changed
And for the people that aren't good communicators to begin with, it must be brutal.
Yes. And be careful what you put into email too.
I thought of that the other day. I was like, did I? Because sometimes you're on like a thread.
Yes.
And it's like other people are on it. And I'm like, did I just send that to the entire, I thought I did it at work at the college.
Yeah.
And thank God it was like, it wasn't anything inappropriate or out of line. It was perfectly professional. But I was like, did I just send that to the entire staff of the college? Thank God it was fine. But I did have that moment of, oh crap, everyone's gonna know what I'm thinking about right now. Anyway, so Mercury retrograde.
How did you feel in August? You had an anniversary, right?
Yeah, 25 years.
Nice.
Interesting, because I often think about when you're on Just Ask Spirit, and I try to remember, I'm sure the audience, you do this too, where you're like, what did Carmen say again? Like, I almost have to go back and listen to it, like, again, about what's going on. But yeah, my husband and I went to a concert to celebrate. We went to Train,
awesome.
That song.
Oh yeah.
I need a sign. I need a sign.
Yeah,
right? That song. It was the best. We had such a fabulous time that the next day we got tickets off Craigslist, and we went back to the night.
Nice.
Because they were playing 2 nights. So whatever. So awesome. I had a lot of fun, but I'm also, I get tired. I mean, it's a lot to stay up late and everything. So anyway, how about you? How'd you do?
Yeah, just
I know your daughter. You've been tied up with that. Yeah.
It was a huge change, which brought up a lot of emotions, with the full moon in Pisces at the end of the month of August, because, I'm my only child. And once you get back to the house and they're not in the room anymore, it's just a weird feeling. I can't believe I raised a 19-year-old. It's like, where did the time go? It's just like.
This is her second year, right?
No, first year. Yeah.
Oh, this is her first.
Oh yeah, she's just out of high school.
Oh, so you must be feeling it a little bit.
Oh yeah, this is a big change. Yeah, and she's a little bit older for her grade because of moving around with our jobs and traveling so much. Different states had different rules, so she was older in kindergarten when she started than everybody else. So like 1 year older. And she's a freshman at University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign. And but the good news, she'd come home on the weekend. That's the good news. So Mercury retrograde, it's still affecting us now, 1st of September. We're still in it. And it makes us reflect on all of the things that have happened in the past, right? So I'm thinking about, when she was little, and you're thinking about, all the that have happened. It really connects you with the past. And Mercury retrograde also brings issues up from the past, but also brings people back into your life. So, and we had
true. How often do you think of someone in the past? All of a sudden they call you, or you? Right.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
That's interesting. So I don't know if I've ever heard you say that. Mercury retrograde makes you think about the past and old. Old things. And in a good way, I suppose.
Like processing, kind of analyzing. Analyzing. because it's the
Oh,
planet of communication. Of it rules, Virgo and Gemini, which are, Virgos love to analyze, they love to think. It's the planet of
yeah.
the mind, of the mental process. So,
Mm.
kind of connecting. So we had that, and then we had a double whammy too last month. We had a Venus that was retrograde, and it's been affecting us for a while, and it goes direct on September 3rd. So that's why I brought it up. Venus
Mm.
retrograde also brings past relationship issues to the forefront, and past love to the forefront.
Oh
So
boy.
old
Oh.
relationships, people you broke up with, or you made. This is what happened to me. This was so weird. When
No,
Venus
but
went
by the
retrograde.
way, happy belated birthday. Happy
Oh,
belated birthday to you.
oh yeah, thank you. Yes, I did have a birthday end of August. I forgot about that. I don't like getting older, but yes, I did. When you're older, right? I'm still not 50. Yay, I'm not 50 yet.
Yay,
Almost.
yay.
Years,
Yeah,
couple
it's not so
but
bad. It's not so
no,
bad,
Venus,
Carmen.
I know,
It's not
right?
so
I
bad.
know,
Yeah,
right?
you'll be
I
fine.
yeah, I know. It's like I like saying I'm 40 something still. It's like
I know. I know you're
um,
just a baby. Go ahead. So anyway,
so like V
your the internet
so weird because I didn't.
talk.
Hey, so yeah, I don't really give Venus retrograde much thought. I'm always like, yeah, it's no big deal. But with Mercury, I do. And but I realized, oh my gosh, Venus retrograde, yes, it's affecting me, because the night it went retrograde, I dreamed about this old person that I used, one of my first loves was in my dream. And I woke up, it was real vivid. I thought, why am I dreaming about him? I haven't thought about him in years, right? And
Uh-huh.
then I was reading up on Venus retrograde that, people, old issues come back to the surface, either
Ooh,
emotionally, mentally, or through your dreams. And I'm like, someone you dated in college, why am I dreaming about them? You know what I mean? It was interesting. And it was because Venus was retrograde, and it brings back memories of the past. Would it have to do with relationships?
interesting.
Yeah, relationships, reassess, right? Just like Mercury helps us reassess, Venus, the planet of love and relationships, helps us reassess our love and relationship issues. And
I think it helps us evolve, don't you? I mean, there is some, when you do process, when you do reflect, it kind of, I think it helps us sort of look at things from a different perspective, because we do have the experience now. We're in a different time. It's interesting.
yes,
Yeah, go ahead. I
but
know our audio, everyone. I'm aware that it's going in and out, so we seem to be okay at the moment. Go ahead, Carmen.
no, yeah, the signal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, Venus goes direct September 3rd. And
Okay.
so relationships will be back on track, and things will start flowing, and you won't be dwelling on the past and old love and all that stuff. So people have been sharing with me, they've been, really thinking about reminiscing a little bit about old
Mm,
relationships and stuff. So that time is done, and we're going to start feeling better. And then Jupiter goes retrograde, the planet of abundance, good luck, good fortune, expansion, on September 4th. And Jupiter, whatever house it's transiting, what it's going to do, it's going to affect that area of your life, in your birth chart. So you really need to, see where is Jupiter in relation to your birth chart right now. Where is it transiting for you? Mine is in the 8th house. And so when it retrogrades, it's going to expand your inner nature. It's going to make you
mm,
go within more and really heal. So it's not all, everyone's like, Jupiter's good luck, good fortune, it's happy. It also challenges you sometimes, to
mm,
grow, because it's the planet of growth, of abundance,
mm,
of expansion. So if you haven't been growing and not moving forward on a certain issue, it could force you to face it, during this retrograde time. So that's
mm.
kind of what my thing is there. And then,
So
for
don't avoid it. Don't avoid
yeah,
it, people, right?
no,
Process your
no,
emotions. That's
yeah,
part of facing, is processing in my world. Facing doesn't mean have conflict with it, or right. I mean, it means process. Take it in. Yeah. Go
Yes.
ahead.
And that's what Jupiter, you know, it expands everything that it touches. So it can make you, you know, if you love food, you might overeat during this time, right?
Mhm.
You might, it's also the planet of excess, like doing something too much. So you might be
Mhm.
overdoing things, you know, when it's retrograde a little bit too. So just some, you know, watch your, you know, energy patterns, your behaviors, things like that, you know, if, and you might think, wow, I am feeling a little different, you know, right now. And it's just because
Mhm.
Jupiter. And then we have a new moon. There's not a ton going on like August. August was really crazy. There was a lot going on. You know, here at the first of the month, we're still in the Virgo season. So it's all this Virgo energy, September born Virgos, you know, all about communication, teaching, learning,
Mhm.
knowledge, um, privacy, shyness, you know, all that Virgo energy, helping others, focusing on our health, our diet, you know, all that kind of energy you might be tapping into right now because the sun is in the sign
Mhm.
Virgo at the beginning of the month here in September. And then as we get into mid-month, September 14th, there's a new moon in Virgo. So the sun is in Virgo on the 14th still, and we got the new moon in Virgo. So the new moon is all about, we always talk about that every month. It's about setting your intentions and
Mhm.
and figuring out what you want to see manifest in your life. And, you know, there's different things you can do, you know, prayers, affirmations, you know, write down a journal, you know, go out and sit under the full moon and just, you know, speak out, you know, what you want, prayer, you know, all kinds of ways you can do it. And to manifest what you want this next moon cycle. So, you know, as
Mhm.
we go through the moon cycles, things tend to manifest the following month after the new moon of the things you set intentions to, you know, or, and
You
it's
know,
weird.
Carmen, have you ever heard of any like little traditions where people bury things on the new moon and take it out, or is it the
Oh,
reverse? Have you
yeah.
heard of those things?
I've done
Yeah.
that before. I buried something in the dirt in the ground before, but
Do you
that's,
do that on the new moon? Full? What is the?
yeah, you're supposed to do that on the new moon and
That's what I heard.
let go
Yeah.
of the past. And I've done that before, long time ago. Dug up some ground and buried an item to try to let go of somebody that I had a hard time letting go of. It was kind of an eighth house thing, that healing
Hmm.
and death, rebirth,
Yeah.
like truly letting go.
So
Sometimes you
you.
symbolic thing, whether you can set something on fire. I mean, you know, you
Yeah.
can, if you have a picture of them, you can bury it or you can light it. You know, there's all these different things you can do to, and you release them with loving kindness, you know, no ill feelings. And then you can bury it, you can release it, you know, emotionally, mentally, physically. You know, I really believe you got to release it on all levels, mind, body, spirit.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because sometimes you
Gotcha.
think you've healed something and it comes back up. And like, wait a minute,
Sometimes I agree, and you can even do that with healing in terms of releasing a pattern, everyone, in terms of a pattern of maybe there's just like something going through a line
yeah,
through, you can see it, right? Of pattern in women or pattern in relate or with money or belief systems. I wanted to know your take on that because I have heard that. I actually haven't buried anything, but I know people who have.
yes, you can do that.
Yeah, yeah.
I have told a lot of people to do that that I've counseled. And also, you know, writing, if you can't confront someone or stand up and you don't, you know, want to tell them how they hurt you or whatever it is, you can always just write it all out in a letter. And then I have them burn it or I have them tear it up or bury it. And it's
Yeah,
symbolic. It's just a symbolic energy of releasing something.
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Perfect.
It's like a physical
That is
thing.
cool.
Yeah, like
Yeah, cool. So we do that on the new moon if we want to do
yeah,
that, folks, right?
it's new
Carmen, if you
moon.
want to release something, everybody,
Yes,
you
September
can write it
14th.
down and
Yes.
bury it.
New moon in
September
Virgo.
14th. Write that in your calendars.
Yes, and this month is going to be a month where I want everybody needs to remember to love yourself and do some self-care. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't let perfectionism and criticism affect your goals and your emotions, and don't take things too personal, because Virgos are the perfectionist. So this it's like a double whammy with Virgo energy.
You're going to be really Carmen.
I got like a Virgo stellium, unfortunately, in my birth chart. And yeah. And I mean, it's like you can get 100 good comments on a video or your book, and one negative comment will set you spinning. I mean, it's like, I sound like I'm not a good writer. No, don't do that. Look at all the positive and all the good comments that are coming in.
I always think about the person who writes those negative comments, and I think, man, like, especially when they're harsh, when they're constructive,
yes,
I can accept that.
True.
Right? Or
True.
they clearly taken the time to think about something before they put it down. But the ones that are just cutthroat, like, you suck. Yeah, those are tough, man. I get those too sometimes.
Yeah, it's like crazy, and it's hard because it's weird that our mind focuses on that one negative thing. It's like, look at all the positive comments and the people that have
that you've helped or transforming. Yeah, I know, that's what I do. Remember all those. Don't let that one bad apple spoil the whole batch, right? Or that one bad blueberry, just pluck it out and just be like, okay, now they're all fine.
You can't please everyone. And one of the people I work with said to me once, "Hey, I'm not everybody's cup of tea." When she said that, I'm like, I love that. She goes, "They may complain because I'm not everybody's cup of tea." I said, you're right?
That's all reactivity. It's how people they prevent themselves from processing what they feel. They just vent or give someone a zinger. It's just all whatever. So anyway,
they hide on social media. They hide behind.
They do hide behind social media.
Yeah, and it's become,
it really is. A
bullying thing at times. So Virgo energy, guys, September, just don't be so critical of yourself and others, and just
maybe take a break from social media, honestly.
Yeah.
Except for Carmen and I, of course.
Yeah. Make sure to watch our stuff.
But otherwise, take a break.
It's funny. But and good news is coming, man. September 15th, Mercury goes direct. Yay!
Okay.
So let's look at this. The 15th is a Friday. And so we'll be feeling the effects of the shadow period, is what we call it, where the energy is still a little funky, about a week or two after. So I would say by the September 30th, 1st of October, we'll be completely out of the Mercury retrograde energy. Yeah.
We can breathe, folks.
Yes. And it's cool.
We made it.
It's really cool because when it goes direct, something typically happens. I notice, like, you'll get an opportunity that all of a sudden manifests, because it's like that. You've been in the past reflecting, and then boom, things manifest during the Mercury retrograde.
That's right. You always teach us that, Carmen. Remember, everyone, we're manifesting during that Mercury retrograde. Okay, so we're out of Mercury retrograde, which would be a wonderful time to take a break right now, because we do need to take a break, listeners.
Okay.
Remember, if you're just joining on the radio, by the way, we're also on Dream 7 Radio Network, as well as all the podcast channels out there. If you go to sheriannaboyle.com, you're going to find Just Ask Spirit Marketplace. You're also going to find the Patreon program there that supports the show. But we'll be right back with more from Carmen Turner-Schott, the author of Phoenixes and Angels, with her latest book. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Just Ask Spirit. Today, we're getting our astrology update from Carmen. I almost just said Dr. Carmen Turner-Schott. I don't know why.
I thought about getting a doctorate, but man, I didn't want to have to go back to school. It would take too much money too, but I would like to. Hey,
I thought about it for years, but then again,
it's expensive. It's
expensive.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is a lot. I don't know if it's necessary. Carmen, you know an awful lot about astrology. I don't know what you get it in. Oh, psychology, because you're a psychologist. That's right.
I figure if a doctorate or PhD isn't going to help me change my career much now, as far as promotions or anything. But,
Yeah.
maybe after, if you want to be a full-time professor or something like that, I mean, I think
Yeah.
if you're on that academic track,
Possibly.
it might be best, but
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Yeah.
We're at September 15th, right, Carmen?
Yes. Mercury's going direct. We're going to be flowing with communication. It's going to be better. It's going to go direct in Virgo. A lot going on. And then on the 23rd of September, is the sun will move into Libra, the sign Libra. So the first half of September, it's all that Virgo energy, the sun in Virgo, the new moon in Virgo. And then at the end of the month here, the sun will move into a new sign, which is Libra. Libras rule relationships, partnership.
Ooh,
Libras,
Libra.
yeah, Libra. They're the scales of balance. They rule
Ooh.
peace, harmony, beauty, art, also justice, law, fairness. So they're the scales, their whole thing is to balance their own needs with their partner's needs. They rule the seventh house in astrology, which is all about the marriage house. So Libra sun sign people typically really value having a love relationship, and they like to have a partner. Some of them don't feel fulfilled without a partner. That's some of the energy of Libras. They like to have people. They need social connections to find out who they are. So that Libra energy, for those of you born September 23rd, even if you're on the cusp, like you're born September 21st, 22nd, the sun's moving into Libra, you might feel a little bit like a Virgo and a Libra because you're on that cusp, is what we call it. And so you'd be a Libra, a September Libra is what we call it. And so Libra season will come, and we'll be it'll affect all of us. We'll be focused more on our relationships. That's how it'll be the end of the month. And the first of the month with Virgo, we're focused more on that perfectionism, that organization, that efficiency, getting things done, task work, conscientiousness, all that stuff. And then we're going to be more, maybe we should go out with our partner on a date night at the end of the month, go see a movie, go out to eat, just spend time with the people that you're in a relationship with. So that'll kind of shift at the end of the month. And then, the other big thing, really the biggest thing at the end of this month, September, is a long month. September 29th is the full moon, and it's the harvest moon. And,
it's going to be pretty.
Yeah, it really is.
They're so pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. And with the full moon, the biggest thing is the moon, we know it affects our emotions. We know it affects our inner nature and our intuition, because the moon rules our intuition. So when the moon is full, we might be more intuitive, a heightened, kind of sense of energy that we're going to be feeling. Right. And I'll look here and see, I got my little calendar that I can track all this stuff. Right. So the full moon will be in Aries. And so bold, brave, warrior kind of energy. So we might be more passionate, a little bit more impatient. We might get a little bit of a temper, or a little bit angry over little things, because it's gonna affect that Aries.
We got that energy there. Yeah. Giving us a little push.
Yeah. And it's a good time to speak up. That's what's coming to me is right now is coming through this. Use your voice, and because Aries rules the first house, it's all about speaking their truth. Aries are blunt, straightforward kind of energy. So when the full moon, the moon is in Aries, we're going to feel that way. But then when it's a full moon, it's going to be kind of a double whammy where we really need to speak our truth, speak what we really think and feel. And we might be doing it in a more assertive way, and people might not be used to that. And that can cause a little bit of shock, sometimes, because wait, but that's because the moon affects all of us. So all of these, every time the moon moves through each sign every 2 to 3 days, our emotions are affected. So I recommend getting a calendar like I have that has all of the aspects, everything going on astrologically, what sign the moon's in, when it moves into the next sign. I can see it every day, where the moon is and everything. So it helps me realize, why I'm feeling the way I am. It really does. It really validates your emotions. Like, oh, okay, I'm wanting to be cozy and stay home because the moon's in Cancer, right? I don't want to go anywhere. And then Sagittarius, you're like wanting to go out and travel and drive around and get out of the house. So, you start noticing the little practical.
You get to know. And so you're less likely to judge or to take things personally or to react or to make poor decisions if you have this awareness. Yeah, this is super cool. I love the speaking up thing. I just had a client this morning. We were having this conversation because the person, somebody like withheld some information from this person and they felt like, gee, why didn't you tell me kind of thing? And it's more of like really learning to say, look, I really need you to tell me right away. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be something as simple as that is tell me things right away. Don't hold out. And that's a whole nother way that people try to manage other people's emotions. I'm not going to tell them right now because
I don't want to upset them. Yeah.
I don't want to ruin our time together. Right. So
Mhm.
but on the other, if this is helpful to anybody, sometimes you have to let people know, just tell me right away. I'm okay. I can handle whatever it is. What I don't like is if you hold off and
yes,
you decide when I should know rather than, right? Doesn't that happen? So I just love that you're bringing up this speaking up for yourself a little bit thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important. And Aries gives us the courage to do it. That Aries energy makes us a little bit more bold than we typically are. If you don't have Aries in your chart, it's where you have confidence. Aries are known to be very confident and assertive and motivated, and they just take action. They're the sign that doesn't like to wait. They like action in the moment. They want something to get done, right? And so
interesting.
It's one of their strengths, but it can also be one of their challenges because they got to learn to be more patient. So we might feel a little impatient the end of the month of September during this Aries moon energy.
Let me ask you this, if you could sort of like sum up, because I mean, now you're at September 29th. Is there anything we need to know about the rest of this? How many days are in September? April, June, November. What is that little saying?
We're
30 days. We're up to 30. Yeah. So, okay. So if you were to give, I'm just playing with you, Carmen.
Sure,
if you were to give this astrology report 2 words for September, what are 2 things we should know? Take your time. Take your time. Do you want 3 words?
Yeah, let me think on this. So Virgo.
Okay.
I would say with the Virgo energy, be less harsh and critical.
Okay.
And then with the end of the month energy,
so self-compassion.
Yes, self-compassion. And then with the Libra energy, appreciate your relationships.
You did it. Look at you.
There we go.
All right. Did you hear, guys? So this is how we're going to sum these up. Self-compassion in the beginning of the month.
Yes. Yes.
Mid-month, are we talking appreciate your?
Even mid-month till after I would say till the 23rd, when we go into Libra. So most of the month is self-compassion, because that critical Virgo stuff going on. We need to love ourselves, and we need to be easy on ourselves and not, don't be too hard on yourself kind of thing. Avoid perfectionism too.
Which is going to be interesting with the Aries energy.
Then Aries comes at the end of the month. Yep. So if you've been repressing and getting your feelings hurt all month and not and taking it personal, the criticism and all these little things, then you're going to blow your temper.
You're going to blow. You're going to blow.
And we don't want to do that. We don't want to upset. No, we want to use our voice and speak up, but in a compromising way. We don't want to be aggressive or abusive. We don't want to use the powerful Aries energy in a negative way. We
don't want to tell anybody to, go to,
pound sand. Go pound sand. That's what I say. That's it. That's what we say in my job circles.
It's gonna be an interesting month.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an interesting month, Carmen, right? Things that we need to consider, but I love the way you recap that. because you're going to be challenged, and we are going to be, it sounds like, challenged with that Aries energy. So
Yeah.
if you're not doing anything for yourself, good luck.
Yes, and in the Virgo stuff, because Virgos are, they have very high standards of themselves, number one. And sometimes they beat themselves up if they're not perfect. And they like, you know, if they cheat on their diet, if they don't work out, you know, they're all into, you know, health, but they also tend to focus on helping other people to the point where they neglect their own needs. So that's why it's important, which is, this is what just came to me. So Virgo is all about other people's needs, helping and serving others. And Aries is all about, what are my needs? So that others needs and being, you know, helping people, you know, having high standards till, wait a minute, this is not right. What about my needs? So at the end of the month,
there's the balance that you were talking about.
The balance of Libra. Yeah, exactly. Which is Aries' polar opposite sign, which is interesting too, because Libra and Aries are very similar. They always oppose each other in the sky. Those two signs, they're very compatible signs because they're air and fire. So that Libra energy and that Aries, it's going to be this balance of your own needs with your partner's needs kind of thing, which we talked about last month too. The nodes of the moon changed to Aries and Libra as well. And we're still in that for like the next year. So it's going to add to that whole energy we talked about last month about balancing your needs, your selfish desires with your partner, and having, you know, what about my partner, but what about me? And so you're we're in this balance.
What about me? You know that song? Remember that song, Carmen? You're not too young for that, are you?
No,
Do you remember that song?
Of the 80s, baby.
The 80s.
70s.
Yeah. Singing
90s.
always make 90s.
The 90s
Was
music.
that 90s?
I love the 90s music. Late 80s, 90s music is the best, I would say. I love it.
I think so too. A lot of the younger folks like it too.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Yeah, it is coming back. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming back every single month. We really count on you to give us these updates. So we appreciate you. I know you have your own radio show too. So people want to hear, and actually you have a call-in radio show. Yes. So they can go to CarmenTurner-Schott.com, find out more, I assume.
Yeah, you can go there, and if you can go to BBS radio.com, and you can go to my Facebook page. I have it marked on there, but it's the second and fourth Saturday of every month, and it's at 9 p.m. Central on BBS Radio TV, and it streams live on Facebook, and it will eventually stream live on my YouTube channel and all my social media. So if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel and all that, so cool. I'm new to it, so it's the start count, had done 2 shows, so but I take live callers. So if you want to talk astrology or ask something, I'm looking forward, and I know at some point I'm coming on with you. Yes. Yeah, I had to get through all of my teeth stuff. Yes, that's a Taurus thing. You know that, right? I had to get a tooth extracted. Yes. So I was telling Carmen, I'll come on your show after I get this done, because I'm a big chicken with this stuff, but it's done. Good. For now, at least part 1. And anyway, it's a Taurus thing. Yeah. Okay. That's your vulnerable area. Yep. That's my vulnerable area. Okay. We all have something, everyone. No one is perfect. All right. Listen, we love you so much. Carmen and I, we appreciate you for listening to Just Ask Spirit. Be sure, again, go to the Just Ask Spirit Marketplace. You'll see Carmen in my latest book, Energy and Action, which is all about emotional processing and how to manifest by moving your emotions and intuition. And again, CarmenTurner-Schott.com. Thank you, everyone. Your emotions matter. Processing them matters more. Take care.